lagi no pisek, sabe? Sugar me beurre, só põe spaghetti. Bonjour! Bonjour tout le monde. Buenos dias. Bom dia. Good morning, everyone. Such a pleasure to be with you. Today we have an amazing show. You know, all my shows are amazing. But this one, it's really about parent engagement. What are the things that you are doing? What are the questions that you've been asking me? So what I've done, I look for the best, as usual, in this system, in the Brockton School. We have amazing people who are there supporting your families. Not too long ago, I had a chance to talk to Aldo Petronio. He is the chief financial administrator, and he was able to share with me so many things that are happening in the school system. However, one thing that he said to me, even though he's all about money, you know, grants and money management to see who's going to stay, what's going on, or how to really hold the system with coronavirus and to get the funds that we need, he said this to me. He said, Soraya, you tell me what parents can do? If parents work with their students and help them achieve what they need to do while they are in school, we don't have to rely on those funds anymore. So it means to me that, you know, he's a money guy. That's what I was hoping. He said, hey, write grants. No. He said, parents to support. My job, your job, caregivers, is to support one another. And that's why Parent Engagement is here. That's why Parent Academy is here, to give you the tools that you need to help you. I know everything has changed, social distancing and everything all, but we do have a way to communicate with you through WhatsApp, the TV, the cable TV, wherever we can reach you, we are here for you. Somos aquí para vosotros. Llama a nosotros. 774-517-7081 if you have any question. But guess what? When we come back, we have a special guest, Karen Watkins.
Some sports are starting up again. Before returning to play, kids, coaches, and parents can follow these tips to protect themselves and others from COVID-19. Stay home if you're sick or have been around others who are sick. Wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds or use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol before and after practices or games, and before and after sharing equipment. Keep 6 feet of space between everyone. This includes on the sidelines and in the dugout. Coaches, parents, fans, officials, and sports staff should wear a cloth face covering. Don't touch your cloth face covering. If you do, clean your hands. Parents, coaches, and sports administrators should decide if the kids need to wear cloth face coverings. It's most important to wear a cloth face covering when it's hard to keep 6 feet of space between people. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue or use the inside of your elbow. Don't spit. Bring your own equipment, like gloves and bats, if possible. Don't share towels, clothing, or any items used to wipe your face or hands. Keep your belongings separated from others, like your gym bag and equipment, when not in use. Avoid physical contact, like high fives, handshakes, fist bumps, and hugs. Let's start the season with healthy practices. For more information on what you can do to keep players and coaches safe, go to cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir et bienvenue à l'extérieur. Mais toute idée, c'est capable de célébrer le voiture. Nous sommes qui passait, en plus, mais nous partageons la météo différente. Là, nous pisek, ça dépend. Sugar me beurre, só põe spaghetti. So Karen, welcome again.
Thank you for having me.
Such an honor.
Yes,
I
it's
feel
an honor for me.
Thanks again, Karen. How do you would like to say to the public or the caregivers, families who are listening right now?
Oh, sure.
A little bit about who you are before we dig into the question.
Sure, sure. And especially, I'm happy to be here and to address the parents of our school system. So I'm the grants director for a school system for Brockton Public Schools. This will be my 14th year with the district, yeah. And it's been a joy, a privilege since I started here. I originally moved here from Missouri, and I had done some previous grant writing with in healthcare, workforce development, and in housing development.
Okay.
So working in education, K-12 education specifically, it's been a wonderful journey. Wonderful journey. We've written many grants over the years to help with teaching and learning, to help our students with, to provide tools and resources for our students with, to help with their math, science, English, all kinds of areas that we've been writing grants. Most recently, we wrote a grant about to help with school security, to help make sure our students and student staff are all safe within the schools.
We're talking about safety. We're talking about the kids. And now they're not in school. So I wonder how things have changed and when you're writing grants now. So everything has to be around or surrounding coronavirus, which is, who affected millions of people. And I know I have some of my families, when they call, they say the loss of loved ones. And it is a challenge. So do you think it's more work for you, or how does your universe, your grant universe kind of change?
It's definitely been a different trajectory. We've written grants over these past few months since school was abruptly dismissed on March 13th with some some emergency food grants. So one of our funders was generous to allow us to write a grant to provide emergency meals that helped to support the food distribution at the various sites. I think it's 13 sites across the city where there's food distributed. So. So we were able to help with that, and of course, with providing devices so the students can, participate in the remote learning.
Yes, I know they have MiFi now, and then they are giving laptops.
Yes,
that was a project to write grants to receive.
Yes, I worked with our chief financial officer and our director of technology to write the a little over $2 million to provide laptops so that our students can have. Basically, each individual student can have a laptop or have a device, be it a tablet, a hotspot, and internet access.
All right, so how people can really access those information? And I'm going to take a break for a second because I know there are some people who speak Haitian Creole, who speak English, who speak Spanish, who speak Quebec Creole, who are listening. So lo que voy a hacer ya es darte un número de teléfono que usted puede llamar 774-587 7081. Ese mismo término de teléfono que usted podría llamarme. Y everyone who have questions, would like to hear more about, how to access a laptop, how to get the MiFi that the school is offering. We don't have a lot, I heard, but if people are going through some hard time and don't have internet connection, they can always call.
Right.
You can call me. Would you like to share your number as we go? Because we will have it for words. So
well, essentially, the laptops are being distributed through the school. So they need to actually call their individual school where their students assigned in order to make certain that they have sufficient resources.
Okay, so
the devices and the internet access.
Awesome. Yeah. So guys, you heard it. You can call your school, whatever school that your child goes to. You call the school, you call the principal, never stop it. But if you cannot get a hold of them, I'm here, I'm available for you. We're going to take a quick break. I'll talk to you soon.
Information about the new coronavirus is coming from every direction. It can be confusing and stressful, and it can lead to more questions than answers. That stress and anxiety can actually weaken our immune system, which is the part of your body that fights infection. This makes us less able to fight the very thing that's stressing us out. Let's stop the vicious cycle and talk about ways to take care of your mental and physical health. Prioritize sleep now more than ever. Sleep is a time when your body repairs itself and your immune system readies itself for challenges that it faces each day. Studies show that lack of sleep makes you more likely to catch infections. Aim for 7 to 9 hours a night to stay healthy and lower stress. Exercise is important, not just for fitness, but also for your immune system. Even just 10 minutes a day will boost your body's ability to fight germs. It also reduces feelings of stress and anxiety. Go for a walk around the block with your dog or kids. They need exercise and stress release too. But remember, it's best to stay 6 feet away from others when you go out. Use the downtime created by canceled events and social distancing to try things like meditation, yoga, stretching, or even just a long bath or shower. If slowing down is difficult for you, there are many apps that can guide you through the process. Technology can help reduce anxiety and stress by connecting with loved ones. Video chats and group messaging are easier than ever and critical during social distancing periods. Relationships matter and can improve your sense of well-being. Taking care of you means doing the things you love or find relaxing. Take time for puzzles, video games, music, art, cooking, reading, gardening, or any home-based hobbies. Stress eating may be a temptation, and being home makes it easy to eat often. But now is the best time to cut back on sugar and refined carbohydrates. This means saying no to white breads, pasta, white flour, and sweets, which are not at all good for your health. Stick with whole foods, vegetables, and fruits. And reach for water as much as possible. Hydration is very important for a strong immune system. It is important to know what is happening, but not all information is helpful. When it comes to information, think quality over quantity. Stick with trusted sites like advice from Centers for Disease Control or your local health department. Remember, you can only face the challenges of the coronavirus if you take care of yourself first. Sticking to things that you can control, like sleep, exercise, diet, and how you spend your time, and taking mental breaks will not only make your stress levels go down, but it will make your immunity go up. Take each day, one day at a time, and know that this too will pass.
Wow, there's so much that I want, there's so many questions I have for you, and I know it's just a few minutes, but please tell me, what are the challenges that you think you're facing in terms of writing grants, especially with COVID-19 and now the census also? We're trying to have the numbers, and a lot of people, they're not really sure to say that I'm leaving the house or not because they are undocumented, they don't have the necessary paper that they need. So what are the challenges for you?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the census because the census is so important. Because one of the frustrations I've had in my pursuit of grants is at times when we have not been eligible for certain grant funds because our census numbers aren't sufficient in terms of our low-income family count, for example. And knowing that the numbers are much greater than what the census really reflects, that's been a sort of heart-sickening to me to see us not be eligible for certain funds because of the numbers are not represented accurately. Right.
Awesome. Yeah. So is there a difference? Do you get more money for SPED than EL, than English language learners, or?
It's based on a formula, so it's based on the numbers in terms of enrollment. So those are formula grants. We have entitlement grants, and then we have competitive grants. And the competitive grants is where I spend the lion's share of my time. That's basically where I spend all of my time. It's writing competitive grants, state, federal, and even some private foundation grants. We spend quite a bit of time with
How long do you really need to write a grant?
How long do you need? Each grant takes, oh my gosh, it depends on the grant. I just work with a team. Grant writing is very much a collaborative process, and there were right about 8 of us that got together over the past, I'm going to say 6 weeks during since we've been out of school to help us to write a food security infrastructure grant to help us with some food service equipment and also to help our students with their basically science and technology learning and in terms of high-tech urban agriculture. We're actually trying to bring together, put together what's called a freight farm, which is a freight container farm, which grows hydroponic produce.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Whole year?
All year-round produce. Year-round produce. So the fact that that's sort of cutting edge and state-of-the-art, students will get a chance to learn in a live laboratory how food is really going to be grown in the future. So we're not depending on soil. It's basically where the food is grown with nutrients and LED lights.
Whoa!
In a self-contained, insulated unit. And so the produce can be produced year-round. So we're hoping to have the students establish their own farm stand, so they'll learn business development, and then work with grocers like Vicente's to actually sell and market the produce.
Oh, wow.
So that's it's exciting. It's an exciting project.
Yeah, it is. So what would be your message for any youth, children who's trying to find out their purpose, the passion? Like, what would you say to them?
I'd say that part of my love for this work is I love to write. And grant writing is really creative writing. So, and being able to persuade folks with the money to give it away, state, federal, and private funders to craft a very cogent explanation for why the funds are needed and how they're going to benefit the students in the Brockton Public Schools. Awesome. The benefit to their educational achievement and to basically their overall life achievement.
So how do you know do you have what it takes?
Well, students learn very early on whether or not they can write, about writing and language. And if there's a focus and a love for students in that area, this is definitely a field that's growing. Okay. A lot of universities now have centers for nonprofit management, and they have grant writing courses. I teach a grant writing course at Cambridge College.
Very nice.
So it's part of a nonprofit management major. So if they feel like they love to really philanthropic work in the philanthropic world, where their work is for a charitable purpose, then this is a field to explore.
So, you're doing so much. Now, what makes you excited?
Oh, I was excited when we win a grant.
What makes you
I'm always excited when we and then of course when we don't get a grant, there's a measured disappointment, because of course I realize that when we don't get a grant, we've created a work product that then can be presented to another funder, another funding source. So it's not all lost.
Okay. And
so actually what we have to do as grant writers is celebrate the completion of our work product.
Oh, wow.
Not just it's going into a competitive field for consideration, but we have to kind of celebrate. We brought this team together, we put together a successful project. Now we'll see how we were able to reap some funding for a permit.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are definitely running out of time.
Oh,
I can spend the whole day talking to you, and I'm really honored that you really take your time, your busy time, to be with us. And I think Monday we'll invite you to Parents Academy, because Parents Academy is waiting for you to hear what more and so much that you can offer. Thank you so much for the work that you do. Thank you for being yourself. And we don't find many of you. So is there a message that you would like to share with the parents and the youth that are currently listening?
Just have a wonderful, successful school year. Know that folks like myself in the administrative ranks, we're not in the school buildings every day. We're at the central office. But understand that we're out there working for you to provide you with all the tools and resources you need to have a successful school year. So have a wonderful year. I know there are challenges, but have a wonderful school year.
Thank you so much. You heard it. We are trying everything that we can for you to have a successful year. But also, please know that we want to be the parent engagements, the Parents Academy that you want us to be. Have a nice one. Thanks for having me.
Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir et bienvenue par les créoles. Mais toute l'idée, c'est pour nous capables de célébrer ou accueillir la vie qui passait en finale, mais nous pas toujours qu'à mettre en place une différence. La vie nous pisse, ça dépend. Sur les médias, ça fait spaghetti. Bonsoir, bienvenue à l'émission.
Ladies and gentlemen, Once again, welcome. I welcome you to the show, The Zone Show. Nous disons tout le monde bonsoir et bienvenue à l'émission pour la de Zone. Nous disons merci parce que vous quittez nous entrer dans la caillou. Nous entrons avec l'honneur et nous voulons sortir avec respect. As we mentioned earlier, the school year, many of you are calling, Soraya, I thought school going to open. That's what we thought. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic and the rise of so many cases, especially in Brockton, we are in the red when they had to make a decision if children are going to be going to those buildings or not. No, it's not going to happen. It's going to be remote learning, or some people are going to go virtual learning. There is a big difference. What is the difference really? Remote learning means that they're not going to go to the school. However, the school is going to come to them. How? Technology. As you know, many of you have already received your laptop, or some of you are anxiously waiting to get to your laptop to know how to open it. We are here to support you. We will show you some demonstration. This show is actually to give you the tools that you need to be successful this school year. So remote learning, they're going to be home parents. So many of you say they're not going to go to school. No, they cannot go to school because it's not safe. We want your children to be safe. You want your child to be safe and to stay safe. That's the reason that the school cannot be open. I was talking to Dr. Gallagher, Claudia Gallagher, Deb Scott, and all of us are trying to think, what are the best ways to support you? You need technology. Therefore, my goal is to give you the tools that you need, the technology needed for you to be successful. Also, we have to talk about virtual learning. What is the difference really? Is there a difference? Yes, there is a big difference. If your child is going remote, it means that they're going to start on September 16th until November 19th. And after that, the school committee, the superintendent of school, and everyone else is going to be sitting on the table and look at the numbers. What are the numbers are saying? What is going on if your child will be able to go back to the school building or not? Virtual, if you sign your child to go to school virtually, it means that the whole school year is going to be at home. They don't have to worry if they're going to go hybrid or not. They will stay home and learn. As I'm saying that, I know parents, you are struggling to how you're going to be home and be able to go to work and assist your child. This is the biggest challenge that all of us, all over the world, parents are dealing with. But what I've learned, parents, children, you are resilient. Whatever it is that life throws at you, there is a way, somehow, to make it work. The school, I am here to support you in any ways, shape, and form that I can. Remote or virtual. The school is here to help you, either with how to stay connected. What are the terms that you really need to know, and why do you need to know them? A lot of the children are not going to be too happy because parents are going to know your ID number, and they will be able to see if you have homework or not. Parents, kids have homework. They do. I know they tend to say, no, I don't have any homework. Now you'll be able to see it. And our job is to empower you, giving you what are the things that you need to know, what are the things that you need to learn to help your child succeed. Through pandemic or not, we will try our best to give you the support that you need. It has been a lot of trauma, emotional distress, fear, anxiety continue, losing the people that you love the most. I know many of you, many of the households will never be the same again. Some of you lost dad or mom or someone that truly matters in your life. How are you going to move on? Through perseverance. We have to persevere. We are here for a reason. There is a reason that we are here in this moment. We may feel not prepared or a big question mark, but we're going to get through it one day at a time. And we'll also make sure that parents who speak Spanish, Quebec Creole, are aware of the same information that you're getting today. Information going to be translated, and hopefully we'll have a chance to meet somewhere or another to share those information with you. The only thing that I can say to you parents, hang in there. We're going to do it. We have to do it because you are not in this alone. We are in this pandemic together, and together will thrive to help our children.
Some sports are starting up again. Before returning to play, kids, coaches, and parents can follow these tips to protect themselves and others from COVID-19. Stay home if you're sick or have been around others who are sick. Wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds or use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol before and after practices or games and before and after sharing equipment. Keep 6 feet of space between everyone. This includes on the sidelines and in the dugout. Coaches, parents, fans, officials, and sports staff should wear a cloth face covering. Don't touch your cloth face covering. If you do, clean your hands. Parents, coaches, and sports administrators should decide if the kids need to wear cloth face coverings. It's most important to wear a cloth face covering when it's hard to keep 6 feet of space between people. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue or use the inside of your elbow. Don't spit. Bring your own equipment, like gloves and bats, if possible.
Alors, chers amis, nous pouvons essayer de résumer ça nous dit avant là dans l'émission ça. Qui ça vous voulez comprendre, qui ça vous connaît, mais ça vous voulez connaître. Que chaque jour, si on est supposé lever matin, malgré l'école là c'est remote, malgré pas obligé d'aller dans un building pour apprendre, il y a prêté la caillou, mais espérons qu'il y ait technologie. Et si vous n'avez pas Wi-Fi ou bien Wi-Fi que l'école BrocktonPublic School a bail, relez-nous, mais nous téléphone que vous mourir là, relez téléphone, pas peur relez l'école pas petit ou pas peur quitter message, vous supposé relais ou pas carré non monde, et bien relez. Parce que ce travail, moi, ça, comme parent engagement, bon engagement que je prends pour me travailler avec nous, pour me supporter nous, pour me guider nous, pour me battre nous, ça nos besoins pour que arriver côté nous bralière. Nous comprenons, le 16 septembre, l'école ouverte. Il va pas en quel côté après de la caillou avec laptop ou bien computer que aurait les autres barreaux et sorti gagner depuis mois de mars là, c'est les mêmes qu'on peut utiliser pour travailler avec eux. Son nouveau système qu'on peut utiliser à ça, c'est le Schoology. So, nous songez pendant moi là nous dans Clever, pendant pays Clever là, m'a toute information ça yo, on peut step by step, une après l'autre qui ça pour faire pour ou même parents capable comprendre. So besoin aide, technologie l'école dans Brockton dans tout, yo là, y a ba mon aide, montrer ça pour faire. Une après l'autre qui est capable rentrer. Si moun yo connaît ID, yo sou pas connaît tout relé nous n'a baoul, nous montre qui gens pour capable joindre c'est date de naissance Timonio et puis avec année que vous mettez ensemble pour capable faire pièce d'identification pour rentrer dans le website là. 16 septembre l'école entrée remotely, ça veut dire que après la carrière jusqu'à 19 novembre. Si date là t'a changé, bah faut connaître. Il y a des parents qui signent et disent non, je ne vais pas dans l'école là même parce que moi peur, par contre si tu m'as pas en santé, eh bien moi fais le virtual. Virtual là veut dire comme ça que yo pas dans l'école du tout pendant toute année. Pendant remote, c'est en octobre qu'on est à stop et puis on commence, mais pour ne pas aller à l'école du tout, il y a de la carrière. On connaît qui sont prêts à le faire pour rester avec Timoun et se poser à travail. Moi-même tout, moi en difficulté ça tout. Mais ça seulement me connaît, nous-mêmes parents, surtout parents haïtiens, nous sommes des gens qui sont résilients. Nous avons des ressources que nous ne pouvons pas utiliser. Même si nous devons faire en Haïti, nous pouvons rentrer dans les ressources. Relayons ma tante, relayons maman, relayons frère, relayons soeur. On nous met des têtes nous ensemble parce que seul, je ne suis pas capable de succès vraiment vrai. C'est mettre des têtes ensemble. Moi là pour m'aider nous, je suis capable de connaître après. Première question, nous aurons à bande de côté de mettre ou besoin de monde. Je suis capable de toute solution. Mais ensemble avant, nous travaillons pour jouer comment pour nous aider Timonio et comment pour nous capable de succès pour aller ça. En plus, nous ne doit même penser que Timonio capable d'en vraiment vrai. Même penser si nous prions, si nous avons la foi et si nous mettons tête ensemble, c'est possible. Merci à vous.